Is it finally time for Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams to go their separate ways? Davante Adams has officially been released from the New York Jets 140 days after appearing on the Pat McAfee show with Aaron Rodgers. Davante Adams cut from the team he went to join with his former quarterback. Traded from the Raiders for a mid-round pick, going to play with his best friend who he had known for years prior, expecting to win a Super Bowl. Both of them are gone within 200 days of that interaction. So I beg the question, looking at two guys who are in two completely different spots in their career, is it time for them to go their separate ways? Because I look at Aaron Rodgers, he's a little bit older. He's coming off of an Achilles injury a year ago. He's probably got one good year left of football. I think we can all agree that it's about a year left. And I truthfully don't think he was bad last season. We've talked about this a bunch. Aaron Rodgers to me was a top 20, maybe top 16 quarterback last season in terms of his ability to throw the ball down the field, his ability to still throw the ball into tight windows, his ability to take care of the football, and the 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio we saw throughout the entire season. But can he sustain that for multiple years at his age? On the other side of the coin, though, you look at Davante Adams, who's 32 years old, 9 years younger than Aaron Rodgers, who, when you turn on the film last year, was still very, very close to that dominant Davante Adams we saw a couple years ago. I don't think he only has 1+ or 2 years left of good football. When you watch Davante Adams play, going at people one-on-one, finding soft spots in zone, being the dominant force that he always has been, it's clear to see he is not a shell of his former self. To me, Adams still has 3+ years of good football in him. So if you are Davante Adams, I know how much you love Aaron Rodgers. How long do you want to continue to ride on the coattails of this quarterback before he just dips off and retires? Because that's the trajectory this thing is going. If you're Aaron Rodgers, you're looking at the next year or two and saying, I probably got a good year of football left. I want to go give myself the best chance to win going into a situation, maybe mentor a younger guy on the way, but making sure I step into a situation, I'm the week 1 starter, I got good weapons around me, and I can go compete. But the reality is, a lot of places where Aaron Rodgers would go and immediately be that starting quarterback, Davante Adams maybe even going with him, are not built to win now. You talk about a team like the New York Giants, who very, very outwardly want to bring Aaron Rodgers in and have kind of gained a consensus on being that team that's able to take both Adams and Rodgers into their building, making their team, as good as possible right now, trying to save the jobs of Brian Daboll and Joe Shane. But if you're Aaron Rodgers, you go to New York, it's a convenience thing, right? You were just at the Jets, you go to the other locker room, you probably don't have to move, and same with Davante Adams. Do you really feel like you can go there and win? Maybe Aaron Rodgers thinks it, and there's no doubt in my mind that peak Aaron Rodgers could go anywhere and immediately make them a contender. But this is 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. This is not peak Aaron Rodgers. And even though we love Davante Adams, we just talked about how good he was, it's not necessarily peak Davante Adams, and the connection between the two is not the peak that it once was. So if you're Davante, maybe you want to go and join him in New York if he winds up going to New York, being the bridge guy, a mentor to Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. But at the same time, what happens after he goes? Do you really believe in that younger quarterback enough to stay there for a couple more years? Maybe he signs a 1-year contract somewhere. One interesting spot is Pittsburgh. To me, it is very real that Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin have some type of connection. The Steelers desperately need a quarterback. He could serve as a mentor to Justin Fields, and Davante Adams could serve as a mentor to George Pickens. To me, that's a match made in heaven. You got both guys on a shorter lease. Maybe Davante signs a 1-year deal. He matches whatever deal Aaron Rodgers has as well, and the Steelers go all in on 1 more year of Cam Hayward, on 1 more year of prime TJ Watt, and do everything they can to make a run at the AFC. Right now, they're plus 3,000 to win the AFC on Pikkit and plus 8,000 to win it all. If you're not on Pikkit, you're looking at bets for the NFL future as well as March Madness coming up, NBA coming up. Make sure you join with code LEADS in the description. You'll get a couple extra bucks in bonus cash to make whatever long shot parlay you want for March Madness, the NBA, whatever you like. And if you follow me, you can just copy any bets I make as the tournament goes, as well as any NFL futures I put in as time goes on. But if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers, you want to take one big swing, you got to put these guys together for at least a year. That is the best swing you're going to get, and I think that's the best opportunity these guys have to play together. I think the West Coast is also a very real option. Matt Stafford is staying in LA. Davante Adams has said he wants to go to the West Coast, whether that's the Chargers, whether that's the Los Angeles Rams, or whether that's the San Francisco 49ers who just traded away Deebo Samuel. There now may be open wide receiver spots, assuming the Rams get rid of Cooper Kupp, that need to be filled by Davante Adams. The Rams are a contender, the Niners are a contender still, and the Chargers can be a contender with Davante Adams. But where does Aaron Rodgers fit in? Newsflash, he doesn't. Davante Adams is now at a point in his career where he has to realize there are only so many opportunities he is going to get in his prime, being the dominant number one force he is, to go win a ring. And that could be a lot of places. A reunion in Green Bay is not out the window. He could go to Baltimore. Very big sleeper. He could go to the Buffalo Bills. God forbid he does this, but he could go to the Chiefs too. He has to realize that there are offenses that would feature him, get him the football in ways that he likes, and do not have Aaron Rodgers in them. Now, for Rodgers, if you're going to watch Davante Adams do that, and that is the number one thing from continuing to keep you interested in playing football or wanting to contribute to a team, be a mentor, if you see that, how do you want to play next year? Do you want to go be a bridge guy in Tennessee where you own property, you have good relationships with the people there, while Davante Adams is producing in San Francisco or LA or Baltimore? I don't think you do. I see this going one of two ways. If these guys want to stay together, they're going to go to the Giants or they're going to go to the Steelers together. 1 or 2 year deals, short leases, not leashes, leases to keep them in those buildings for shorter amounts of time as they age to see what it works out to be. But if these guys do not want to stay together, if Davante Adams wants to do what's best for his professional career and go to a contender or go to somewhere that's going to feed him the football more, play with a guy like Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers is probably going to retire. That's the reality. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more daily NFL content. God bless, and thank you guys for watching.